afternoon. Welcome to Contraceptive Matters, your one-stop show about contraception and reproductive health issues. Basically, this program aims to raise the awareness level about family planning, dispelling myths and misconceptions about the use of contraception, as well as making smart choices about family planning. And it's made possible by DKC Nigeria, one of the largest private providers of family planning and reproductive health products. I'm Olasunbo Modupe, and I will be glad to anchor this show, this interesting and repackaged show for the next quarter. Please stay with us. The program continues shortly. Welcome back. It's still Contraceptive Matters with DKC Nigeria. Okay, let's go to the business of the day. In recent times, stories of abandoned babies are recurrent in the media. According to a study, about 1,500 children are abused and neglected. 75% of these children are abandoned. In this year alone, about 237 children were rescued by the Lagos State government. I'm sure this data is disturbing, and one question that comes to everybody's mind is why do we have this alarming trend? Why this ugly trend, despite the advocacy level, intensive campaign about pregnancy prevention, unwanted pregnancy in the society, And that's our focus today on contraceptive matters. I'm not alone in the studio. I have with me Omolara Aluko, the Media and Communications Manager with DKT Nigeria. Welcome to the program, Lara.
Thank you very much.
It's been a while.
Yes,
it's so good to have you back.
In fact, I'm excited to be on here again with you.
So where have you been?
We've been everywhere.
Okay.
We've been in Lagos, we've been in the north, we've been in the east. DKT has been everywhere. So.
All right. The trend is now baby dumping. Almost every week we have a report about one baby dumped in somewhere. Why do we have this ugly trend? Despite the intensive campaign about the use of contraceptives, protected sex, and all that. When
most especially these stories, we see them online, we'll see them, we read about them. And in the last few months, let me say from March till date, we've had it in almost 8, 9, 10 states in Nigeria. You hear of baby being dumped. And the most painful thing about this is the fact that these babies are dumped in places that babies should never have been found. So, that brings, when I looked at it, I want to say, personal opinion now, that for a woman to go through 9 months pregnancy, and you go through labor, and at the end of the day, you abandon.
But why would anyone in the world abandon a precious gift?
Thank you. We were having a discussion around this baby dumping trend in the office. And, somebody say, is it that they've not been hearing us? Is it that they've not been listening to contraceptive or messages that are bound, that are all over? I said, no. I said, it's not that some of them have not been. I said, carelessness on their parts is what I will attribute it to. Because for you, if you're going into the act, if you're going to be having intercourse, I think the first thing that should come to your mind is, do I want to be pregnant? And if you don't want to be pregnant, then I feel there is a need for you to prevent. And that is why we're always talking about prevention. That is why we're always saying, oh, it is better for you to know. It is better for you to have this information at your beck and call, so that when the need arises for it, you can go into your archive of information and bring it out. So for me, I will conclude, my opinion, personal opinion now, that is wickedness on the part of those that drop those babies. Because if, the reason why I will conclude now, personally, that it is wickedness is because those babies were dumped in places that are terrible.
A ritualist could have picked them up.
You want to dump babies, go to motherless homes, go to churches, drop anywhere, not for you to drop in gutters, in canals. It means that their intention, I don't know, their intention could be to actually kill those babies. Okay.
The options are there. You could go to the motherless home and all that. We also have the other options of using prevention and all the preventive tips.
Yes.
Why would you still stick with that? And with the level of campaign, would you say the awareness is still very low?
Oh, well, I want to say that I want to believe that this awareness, it may not be 100%, but the truth of the matter is the awareness is actually there. People are yes.
Well, people are not just willing to tap into.
I would say that because before we even grew up to to be an adult, we've been hearing about family planning. We've been hearing, we've been listening to dramas on radio. We've been listening to dramas on TV. We've been hearing advocacy talking about family planning, and to now bring it home for us at DKT. We've gone a long way in terms of creating awareness for pregnancy prevention. Currently in Nigeria, we have over 30 radio programs, and these radio programs are not just concentrated in a particular region in Nigeria, it's all over.
Would you attribute it to moral decadence? Because this year alone, about 237 children were rescued by the Lagos state government in different parts of the metropolis.
So you can see that. So, it's part of the fact that I would say, number one, society influences. Because if you look at those that are dumping, I wouldn't know, if we want to take a statistics of those that are dumping this baby, you won't believe that so many of them will be young adults.
Okay.
Yes. So I would say for them not, adopting this method, it could be born out of the fact that, the society, aside even the nonchalant attitude, the fact that the society is even judgmental. The fact that as a young adult, you cannot walk into a health clinic, you cannot walk into a supermarket, you cannot go to the nearest aboki near you and ask for a form of prevention. For example, as a boy, you find it difficult to go into a pharmacy and say, please, I need a pack of condom. They'll first look at you. The look they will give to you is so judgmental that even some of these young adults find it difficult, to approach. You understand? It's not that the awareness is not there. The awareness is there. Go online. You will see so many information channels that are out there to push messages. Part of it is what DKT Nigeria is doing. Every time, go to the Facebook at Honey and Banana, you have people, medical experts, they're ready to attend to your question. Tweet at them at Honey and Banana. You get doctors, you get medical experts responding to your question. Even the website, when you visit www.honeyandbanana.com, you have information about this contraceptive online that you can access in the comfort of your room through your mobile phone. So what are we saying? Radio programs are there. They are educative, medical experts are always on air to respond to your question. Let me use this as an example. We were at Unilager firm yesterday night, and it will be surprising that even the academia, we had 2 doctors called in, and they were asking, they are married, why do they need contraceptives? In the studio,
maybe for a man.
Yeah, the presenter was asking, well, they are married, their wife is in their house, they are faithful, why do they need to use contraceptive? And I had to respond to them that basically for married people, contraceptive is for spacing. The doctor said, oh, thank you, we never thought about it that way. So you could say that people still need to, they still need to have to understand this information. And that is why at DKT we try as much as possible to break it down, and we use languages. We have in Yoruba, we have in Hausa, in Igbo, in Igala, we have in different languages, so that we are at your level, we are at your doorstep.
You talked about accessibility. Yes. What about affordability? Are they actually affordable? Because if you can actually walk into any pharmacy, any health center to get these methods, how affordable are they?
They are affordable.
Because that could be a challenge too.
Well, you could say that, but if you can afford to buy a bottled water for 50,
is it as cheap as that?
Yes, for 50 naira. If you can buy a bottled water for 50 naira, then you can buy a pack of condom.
A pack of condom is 50 naira?
Yes.
Okay.
For us at DKT, our mission is to make sure that these products, these contraceptives, are not just available. We are saying we are making it affordable. Like I just said, a pack of condom you get for 50 naira.
Are you sure you can get a pack of condom? I've never got one, but because all the retailers. I know, we are in Nigeria. The retailers, once you sell a particular product for them at the cost price, they go to increase. So because the 50 naira, like 100% increase.
Let's even say Sumbo, let's agree now that the price is 100 naira.
Okay.
A bottle of drink now in traffic anywhere is no longer 100 naira. It's a 120, 150. A bottle of soft drink, pet bottle. So if you can afford to drink 1, 2, we have people that take 2 in a day. Then if you are going to go into the art of intercourse, you should be able to sacrifice 100 naira to protect yourself.
Okay.
If you look at our daily pill, you get a daily pill that is going to last a woman for 1 full month, 50 naira.
Are you sure?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure. Go to a pharmacy, tell them you want to buy Level Fem. It's 50 naira.
I'll find out.
Good. I'll find out and get back to you. Because Nigerians, retailers, they go about increasing. Well, you find out that there is an 100% increase at the end of the day. And that is why, thank God, that is why
you need to do a lot of monitoring.
See, that is
not just about placing the products out there.
That is why with this show now, it's on. as many that are listening
so
to
you
us,
can actually challenge.
Yes, you can actually challenge. You go into a place and they tell you a kiss condom is 100 naira. You tell them, no, you heard from the people that are selling that is 50 naira. The truth of the matter is environment also matters. Where you stay, because people look at where where the shops are. Yes, so I'm considering that now. Where your shops are, your environment.
People in Aja, Lekki won't buy a kiss condom for 50 naira. I'm so shocked.
Okay, but we are saying that what we are saying in essence is these products are affordable. Okay. You can walk into an health center, get an implant for as low as 1,000.
Okay, that brings me to my next question. It's a collective effort.
Yes, it is.
If you're saying a man can use a condom, even if a man is not willing to use a condom, then you as a woman, you should be able, because that is the ideology in the society. A woman, you should be able to take, you hear a man tell you, you should be able to take care of yourself. So I believe it's a collective effort.
Yes, it
even
is.
If you're going to, and
that is why we say, okay. That is why for every act you are going to involve in, for every intercourse, for every relationship, you should do it with somebody that you're going to be communicating with. Okay. You get what I'm saying? If it's going to go down between I and you, we should be able to ask ourselves before we get to that level that, okay, what method of protection are we going to? You shouldn't wait until 9 months after you have to give birth to the baby and dump in canals and dump. No. Okay. What we are saying is that try as much as possible, adopt a contraceptive lifestyle, okay, so that you don't have worries, so that you don't have regrets.
Okay. It's still Contraceptive Matters with DKT in Nigeria, and we have been discussing the use of contraceptives. We've been weighing contraceptives and the rising trend of abandoned babies in the society, and Omolara Luko has been doing that with me. We'll take a short break now. When we return, we'll open the lines for viewers at home to participate. Please stay with us. Contraceptive Matters with DKT in Nigeria, and we have been discussing abandoned babies, any link with the use of contraceptives, and Omolara Luko is in the studio with me, and we have been doing justice to that topic. What are the options available? Options of family planning methods
that are available. We have quite a number, and let me start by categorization. We have the ones that are called the barrier method. Okay. We have the ones that are hormonals, we have the ones that are non-hormonals. Okay. So now let me start with that categorization that I just did now. So when you look at the barrier method, you talk about the condoms, talking about the male and female condoms, okay. the likes of the keys, the Fiesta condoms. And we usually hear most men say condoms are not so good, they are not. But you know, technology has gone far now, okay. that they've taken into consideration the feedbacks from the society by making sure that we have condoms now comes in variants. Okay. Yes, you have variants that comes in terms of flavor, talking about the chocolate.
We have strawberry.
The strawberry. Oh my God.
We have vanilla.
No, not yet, boy. It's like we take that. Yes, okay. We have the strawberry. We have the chocolate, and you have the ones that talks about the color. We have the original black. Talking about the Fiesta, you have the original black, and you know, when you also look at it, we have new innovation. We have the prolong. You know, some people will say, oh, my issue is I don't last long when doing intercourse. So you have the prolong, and you have the ultra thin. People that says no, I don't want any barrier. But we say that even with this particular barrier, with this condom, the ultra thin, then you can, you know, you can still enjoy what you want to enjoy. And we have the dotted, we have the rib, we have the 3-in-1, we have the extra large. Some people will say, no, I can't find my size. That's my excuse. We are saying you don't have an excuse to,
when it comes to
sizes. Yes, you don't have an excuse. We have the extra large. So, you know, talking about the barrier method, both female and male condoms, the Fiesta, the Kiss, they are bound.
Okay, you have different variants for the female condoms. For the male. Just the male.
Just the male. Just the male. Just the male. So, you know, moving on, when you also look at it, talking about...
Okay, before you move on to the other types, viewers at home can actually call on the program. Call on 0908-729-6673. 0908-729-6673. So please go ahead. Okay,
so still talking about the barrier method now, we have what we call the diaphragm. The diaphragm is actually female. It's for female. It is actually used to cover the cervix. You know, during or before intercourse, you wear it, use it to cover the
What's the difference between diaphragm and IUD? That's intrauterine device.
Okay, the IUD is actually placed in the womb, by a medical expert. It is inserted into the womb by a medical expert. But for a diaphragm, it's something you wear as a woman. Before the act, you go in, put it in, use it to cover the cervix, and you leave it for like 6 hours after the intercourse, and you can, after the intercourse, you take it out. It's actually for diaphragms. Diaphragms are usually reusable. They are reusable. It's something after the intercourse, you clean it off, you keep it, and when you want to have the next act, you go for it. So those are the barrier method. Now, you know, moving on to the hormonals now. We have the emergency pill. Just like the name implies, emergency pill. Emergencies don't happen always. Emergencies are usually one-off. It happens, I'm not prepared, I'm not safe, the guy is not, he didn't use any condom. And after the act, I want to prevent unplanned pregnancy, then I'll go to the nearest clinic, go to the nearest pharmacy, and ask for emergency pill, the like of post pill. It's a single tablet. And you know, the beautiful part of this pill is that you have the opportunity to use it even up to 5 days after the intercourse. Yes, you have the opportunity to use it even 5 days after intercourse. But we usually say that it's best you use between 72 hours.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Contraceptive Matters with DKC in Nigeria. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Moses from Ikorodu.
Moses from Ikorodu. Thanks for calling. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, my question is that I really want to confirm that if condom is 100% safe for a man.
Okay, is that all?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I will respond to that question by saying that if one correctly if worn correctly, is not 100 safe. We usually say that for every contraceptive method, you have the less 2%. You have the less than 2, you have a 98, 95%. But if well used, well worn, because we realize that most men don't usually know how to wear a condom correctly. But if you wear it,
a special technique or special way,
that would, you know, maybe if I have to say it now, for if you are in the act, you've started the act, you need to know the place where to tear, because it comes in a foil. So while tearing the foil, you don't tear the condom.
Okay.
Then when you even go to buy, do you check for expiry dates?
Well,
yes, those are the things we talk about. So if the product, the brand is good, if the product, the brand is well lubricated, and if you wear correctly, you can get a 95% assurance that you are protected. So we usually say wear the condom correctly.
Okay.
Tear where it's supposed to tear. Look for the expiry date to be sure that it has not expired.
Okay, since we have a call. Hello, good afternoon. We lost that call. Okay, so please go ahead with the non-hormonal.
Okay, so no, we're actually talking about the hormonal. So talking about the emergency pill, the likes of post pill is a single tablet. You use it after unprotected intercourse. It's meant for the women, sorry. So you take it after the intercourse and you are good to go. And I'll move on to the daily pills now. The daily pills we have is a sachet. You have 28. Of that 28, you have 21 active pills.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Contraceptive Matters. What's your name, please? Good afternoon.
Please, madam.
What's your name, please?
My name is Nike.
Nike. Okay, Nike, thanks for calling. What's your question?
As you are saying all these things.
Okay.
Okay. People is not. For people, you must buy condom to tell if you get something with your wife. So people, yes. Please let me review this thing again. To do it again. Let people get. It's compulsory for people. You are born all the time. Children plenty for them. No school fees, no anything. Please.
Okay, Nike. Thank you so much, Nike, for that advice. Thank you so much. Okay, so please, Lara, go ahead with your.
Okay, so talking about the daily pills now, like I was saying, is 28 on a sachet. And
21 active ones.
21 active ones and the 7 inactive. The 7 inactive are actually what we call the ferrous. They are blood tonic. They are to replenish. And the active ones you take within a month. And now that also prevents pregnancy. But we usually say for you to get a good effectiveness from your daily pill, it is something you need to take at the same time.
Religiously.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that word.
It's not as if you use one today, you forget.
You forget tomorrow. Or you use one 7 a.m. today, tomorrow you use 7 p.m. No, you are your own. Because actually the content in it, talking about the hormone in it now, is low dose. So because you take it every day, the hormone is low dose. So if you miss 1, 2, 3, the truth of the matter is you can get pregnant. Wow. That is it. So for you to systematically prevent pregnancy.
What if you miss one? Just
if you mix one, the following day you take the two together.
Okay.
So what we say is that try as much as possible to be religious about it. Take it at the same time. Set reminder. Put it at places where you will see it. Places maybe in front of your dressing table. Put it there. There's a bottle of water in your wallet. You know, let your husband or put up a reminder for you. You yourself put on a reminder so that you don't forget to actually take it. So that is another method of what's pregnancy prevention. And if I move on now and that was the one I was talking to you about, that with 50 naira, go to any pharmacy, ask for level firm, you get it. It's 50 naira. But we usually say, please viewers at home, for every contraceptive method you want to adopt, visit your healthcare practitioner.
Because
don't just do over the counter, because there are some questions, there are some medical histories they will ask from you, there are some things they will need to take for them to determine whether that particular method, whether that particular method you are interested in is really good for you, so that they can advise appropriately. Okay. So now moving on. I
understand there are implants and IUS as well.
Yes, those ones are part of.
Okay, I think we have a call now. Hello, good afternoon. We lost that. Okay, talk about implants and IUS, please.
Thank you.
Are they also hormonal?
Yes, the implants are hormonal, and the IUS too is hormonal. So the implants now, are like I used to say, they are like a flexible rod. They're not up to the size of a matchstick, and they're actually inserted under the arm, the less active arm, the left.
Surgically?
Not surgically. Don't, because somebody, when you are saying surgically, you will be scared. Please, viewers at home, don't mind somebody, it's not surgically. Okay. There is a way they will implant it.
I know you are not a doctor, but
I'm not a yes, but I have an idea, because in fact this is the second one. So I'm a user.
On implant?
Yes, I'm on implant. Okay. So it comes with an applicator. They call it an applicator. The implant is already in the applicator. The medical practitioner will insert under the arm. So I have one now that is inserted. So for the implants, the beautiful part of it is that you have the ones that will work for 3 years, that's the implant or NST, and you have the one that will work for 5 years, which is the Jadel. But the Jadel now, I need to say it, is that that is 2 rods. It's not a single rod like the implant. Yes, it's not a single rod. So the Jadel will work for 5 years. So for people, you want to pursue your career, you want to pursue your dreams, you want to space your family, you've had 2, you want to rest a bit before the 3rd one. These are beautiful methods that you can achieve, so that, like Nick rightly said, he said we should say it. He said because there's so many children, people are finding it difficult to pay school fees. So we are saying it, that there are methods, these are beautiful methods that you can adopt, and they come not too expensive. Go to any healthcare center, go to hospitals, clinics, you get them there, they are affordable. Then moving on to the IUS now, our viewers at home may be wondering, what is an IUS? An IUS is actually an intrauterine system. We call it's just like the IUD, but this now is hormonal. So this is actually inserted into the womb by a trained, I keep emphasizing, a trained medical practitioner. You go to your hospital, go to your clinic, go to, around you, tell them this is what you want. After their examination, the doctor will help you, will advise you whether this is good for you or not, and they carry out the insertion process. So for the IUS, it's hormonal, and it works for 5 years. For us at DKT, we have the Eloira. It works for 5 years, and you can get it. Okay. So we shouldn't leave our childbearing. We shouldn't leave our pregnancies to chance. We shouldn't say.
I'm sure in our subsequent episodes we're going to touch on every method.
Yes, yes, Sumbo. So we're going to be bringing in medical experts that will dress so much on each of these methods. So in case you want to adopt, you know what to do.
Okay. Before we go to the side effects and some myths and misconceptions about the contraceptives, I would like to remind our viewers that you can also log on to www.honeyandbanana.com, or send your question to RHS space your question to 38350. RHS space your question to 38350. You get a doctor to call you back after your message has been sent. So Lara, some will tell you I'm on implants, I added weight. Is it true?
Well,
do you actually gain more weight when you are on any of these contraceptives? Okay,
what has been proven, by research medically, is that there's something we call weight change when you are on a method of contraceptive. Weight change. Now, the weight change, when you hear the word change, the weight change could now be less or a bit more. So talking about less, it depends on how the body system reacts to it. You could actually lose weight. I will say mostly what the feedbacks we get is number one, the person could have a heavy bleed, and now this is usually at the onset of adopting that particular method, you know, because we usually say because they're hormonal, they are not part of the system. So once introduced, you know, the system will want to fight, the system will want to resist. Okay. So, you know, at the onset of adoption, we could have a heavy bleed, but with time, you know, your cycle, your menstrual flow normalizes. Okay. And you know, also we have no bleed at all. Some people they don't actually menstruate when they are on this particular method. And we usually say that because you don't menstruate, yes, there's no cause for alarm. You don't need to get anxious, you don't need to get weary, or you start running, you know, you panic. No, you don't. And that is why we usually say.
And it's not as if the blood is stored up somewhere, no, according to someone. There's a myth.
Yes, I know. There's a myth that says if you don't menstruate, that means the blood is storing up somewhere, and before you know it, one day to just burst out and there will be blood everywhere. No, it's not. Okay. It's not. Well, you know, what actually happens is the way some of these methods, the way they work is to actually you know, prevent ovulation, prevent the release of egg. You know, and when the egg is released that the blood will flow if it's not fertilized. So, you know, some of these methods, this is how they work. They actually delayed ovulation. So that, you know, could account for you not menstruating, but please, the blood is not storing anywhere. And some people will also say they have spotting in between cycle. We usually say with time, by the time your body fully adjusts to that method, it will actually fade away. Some will say they have mild headaches, and we say over-the-counter or analgesic will actually work for that. It will solve that. So basically, some of this side effect, because it happens to A, does not mean it's going to happen to B. Our body or make actually differs. So, but we usually tell people that they are things that are transient. They actually, you know, you get over it. For if I'm going to use myself as an example, when I first adopted the implant, there was a bleed, you know, but like 3 months into it, you know, it fades away. Yes, so my system normalizes.
Okay, aside from the family planning benefits, what other benefits are there? Okay, hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Contraceptive Matters.
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Contraceptive Matters.
Welcome.
Okay. What's your name? Hello? Can you hear us? Good afternoon. What's your name? Please go ahead with your question.
My name is Collins.
Your name is Collins?
My name is Collins.
Okay. Collins, go ahead with your question.
I want to find out if you cover the daily pill.
If what?
The daily pill.
Yes, okay, you want to find out about the daily pill. Thank you so much, Collins. I'm afraid that's our last call for the show. So Lara, I need you to touch on that, then we'll round up. Okay,
so basically daily pill is taken every day as a pregnancy prevention. But when you are taking it, you need to take at the same time you are taking it every day. Do not miss. And before you start, please, for Collins, if your wife is going to start the daily pill, please, it is advisable for your wife to go to the nearest clinic so that they can educate her further on the method. Okay,
I'm afraid this is how far we can go on the show today. For comments and inquiries, please log on to www.honeyandbanana.com or send RHS space your question to 38350. RHS space your question to 38350. Thank you so much, Lara, for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And I hope by next week and the subsequent episodes we'll be able to touch more on other methods.
Yes, we will. That's why DKT is here.
All right. I'm Olasunbo Modupe. Thank you so much for staying tuned, and please join us again next week and keep making smart family planning choices.